And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all.
And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now back to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Eagles are able to add on to that lead.
Elliott on for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Eagles 29, Ravens 21.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10.
To throw is Jackson. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Now it's Jackson. He'll try to pick it up himself. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
On the tackle. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 34-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Hurts. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is caught inside the 5. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman, 35 yards. And the Ravens have cut the lead back down to 2. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on fourth down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the 2, or I should say third and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your lineman surge and fire out.
And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. He's got a man, complete. A big play there for Philly. 44 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
A handoff to Barkley.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up
Looking to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On third down, Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
The Hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it.
A 4-yard gain. It's 4th down.
They'll look to throw here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the... Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment, Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Great, set. Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Draymond Jones in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here. 3rd and long.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
A 10-yard loss on the play. And it's 3 and out.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Great, set.
They'll try and throw for it here.
That one out wide and intercepted. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And the Ravens are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
The fumble recovery certainly has put them in the driver's seat. 1st and 10, all tied here in the 4th.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
Dances by him. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
The first down pass.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
So that flag will set him back 5 yards.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he's going to get forward for a couple before he is banged down hard at the end.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
Here's Jackson. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Jalen Carter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settled in now 1st and 10. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They've had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
This is 1st and 10.
73. Great. Set.
They'll go to Barkley again. And this time they were waiting for it as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12.
Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts on target to Dallas Goedert. And the Eagles have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Makes the score Eagles 36, Ravens 29. Jake Elliott to kick
Now
off
after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
All in the kiss can't get the cold up. Like they know it. Double O kick, that we told us. Switch out the bed, get rolled up.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Penalties not what they needed here. 1st and 15. Jackson to throw. Throw caught by Flowers.
I tell you, it has not been his best day throwing the football. He really needs to piece something together here.
All will be forgiven if he leads them into the end zone.
At the 23-yard line.
And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him.
That flag, that'll push him back 5. Second and 6 coming up.
180.
Here's Jackson. Jackson going to keep it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
And once he got out of the pocket, you thought that maybe he'd take off with it, especially here in the 2-minute drill. Sometimes defenses are focused so much downfield that there's room to run, but this time he decided to throw it unsuccessfully.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Where will the pressure come from? 4th and 6 now.
Sit hot. 180. Finish it up.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
They go play action with Hurts. That's going to be caught by Bigsby.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first.
It's 4th down.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs.
Here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Andrew McCuba.
Parker, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Here's Hurts to throw. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Throwing is Hurts.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
One last shot for Jackson. Now a
desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort